Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 54 units of real estate. So today I want to talk about a concept I talked about before called simple living, and why I'm trying to remind myself constantly about why you need to simple live. So simple living is basically a state in my mind where you don't have jealousy, you don't have envy, you don't have comparison, and you just enjoy kind of the day-to-day life. And for me, I've always tried to live that way. I think my wife and I, we're pretty simple in how we live. Like, we find a lot of joy in doing simple things like going for a walk after dinner around our neighborhood, going to the gym, shopping at the clearance rack at thrift stores, traveling. And when we travel, we don't need to stay at like 5-star hotels. We're happy enough at a 3-star hotel that's decent, and basically just exploring a new area, trying new restaurants where it's like a new like taco stand somewhere, or like a Michelin star restaurant, and just really enjoying the very simple things in life. And it's hard because we're creatures of comparison, and you always want more, and you always kind of want whatever your circle of friends has. So if your circle of friends has a 5-bedroom, 4,000 square foot house, you are tempted to want a 4,000 or 5-bedroom, 4,000 square foot house. If they have a nice car, you're tempted to want a nice car. If they have a Labubu, you're going to want a Labubu, right? So you kind of want whatever your 5 closest friends want. And because it's kind of like a status symbol, it's kind of like a way to fit in. And maybe you're just trying to impress people. But as I've kind of built up my wealth and gotten older and wiser, I've gained more wisdom. And specifically on hey, I thought in my 20s, if I had a BMW, which was my dream car for the longest time, that it'd give me more status. It'd help me get more girls. People would view me as successful. But after I got it and driven it for the past 12 years, you kind of felt good for maybe the first month, maybe 5 months, call it. But after that, you kind of feel the same. It gets you from point A to point B. It's not like I got more girls because of it. It's not like I was seen as rich or impressive because I had it. What I learned is most girls just care that you have a nice, clean car that's functional and hopefully not too bad. But it doesn't have to be like a BMW or whatever, or an Audi. And then as I built wealth too, I've stopped comparing myself. I used to always think if I got paid 100,000, I'd be happy. And I got paid 100,000. If I got paid 200,000, I'd be happy. Got paid 200,000, not the same. If I get paid over $250,000, I'd be happy. I'm getting paid over $250,000 right now, and I feel the same. And same thing with the house. I feel happier if I went from a 3-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. Once you get a 4-bedroom, you feel the same. I'd feel happier if I lived in a 5-bedroom mansion. You get that, you're the same. I feel like I'd be better if I had a mansion along the beach in Malibu. You get that, you'll feel the same. So kind of knowing that is a little bit demotivating in a sense, but also freeing in a sense, because I know that I just can get rid of that desire to want to trade up or do better. And it's kind of nice. We have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath townhouse, 600 square foot. It's three floors, which is not the most ideal. But, right now it's just us two, so it's plenty of space. But eventually, if you have a family of 4 or even 5, you can feel a little tight, especially when the kids get bigger. And maybe you can't host as many parties there, but we don't really host that many parties. And if we did, we just can go to our community center to do that. Because it's more space, it's more open. They have grills there, and then your house doesn't become a mess. So that's a positive. So that's kind of the thing I've been trying to embody, is just not be as envious. For me, when I got this job, I was just wow, I'm getting paid so much. It's gonna be amazing. And once you get it, after a while, you just get used to it. And at that point, you want even more. You're why can't I get paid this much and be remote? Or why can't I get paid this much and be hybrid? So you always kind of want more, right? You just the thing keeps on chasing. You're well. It's just once you become a millionaire, you see a bunch of millionaires, and or if you become a millionaire, you see people worth 10, 100 million, and you feel poor. Then once you're worth 100 million, you see people worth $1 billion, you feel poor. And once you're worth $1 billion, you see people worth $100 billion and you feel poor. And that's what happened to the Vanderbilt family. Like, each of the kids inherited so much wealth, and most of them are messed up. They, spend a lot of money, have super yachts, a lot of mansions. They're not happy because they're competing against this other rich family. And they're like, well, I bought a $100 million yacht, but they got a $200 million yacht, so I don't feel as good anymore. Versus somebody who maybe makes a modest income, and they're able to afford to go on an all-inclusive trip to like Cabo. Like, they're really going to enjoy that trip, right? So it's like a fine balance of like wanting more for yourself and being ambitious, but also like trying to enjoy the present and enjoying the process and enjoying the simplicity. So like, that's what I kind of realize now too. Like, I don't think I'd get that much more happier if I were to get a bigger house. If anything, it'd be more stressful because it might be more expensive. Property tax will be more, insurance will be more. And then if you have a bigger house, we all know we're going to buy more things to shove it in the house. So I think the 3-bedroom is perfect, right? And I love the community pool, and it's like very walkable. It's very walking friendly. It's safe. It's gated. My car here, my Tesla Model Y, like, I don't think I can do that much better than the Tesla Y. You can get an X, which is more expensive, but it doesn't feel that much better. Or like if I were to get like the Hyundai or some other car, like the Polestar, like, I'm not gonna be that much happier. It's gonna be way more expensive. So it's nice that I could buy this like cash and afford it, and got the tax credit at the time because I qualified at the time. And I know I can't be that much happier because I don't do oil changes anymore. I've driven this car for like almost 2 years and not much repairs besides this like visor right here. I don't have to go to the gas station anymore. No more oil changes. I just changed the air filter. That's it. Super simple. And I have Bluetooth now, which I didn't have. I have this screen here. I have autopilot, which a lot of cars don't have. So like, I can't be that much happier. Maybe I got full self-driving, but it's not worth to pay $8,000 right now. I'm hoping for it to drop, then I'll buy it. If it's like $3,000, I'll buy it. Come on, Elon, make it happen. If you watch my channel. And so I kind of know I won't be that much happier. And then clothes, like at this point, like I've had designer clothes and I don't feel as good. I mean, you feel happy for a little bit, but then you get pissed off if you forget to like hang dry it, you throw it in the dryer and it shrinks, right? But if it's a cheaper clothing item, then it's okay. It sucks, but like, it's not the end of the world. So actually, I don't get as angry. And honestly, after a certain price point, the quality of the clothes doesn't necessarily improve. So just find what fits and what you like, and there you go. That's it. So I know of that. In terms of travel, I mean, obviously I could fly first class. It's probably more comfortable, but honestly, it's not that much more comfortable than like premium economy, and it's like 10x the cost sometimes. So maybe it's premium economy where you can at least recline all the way back and you don't have to scoot through people to walk through. It's double the price of regular economy. But most of the times I just hop on the plane and pop a Benadryl and go to sleep, and then wake up. And if I need to stretch, I stretch, right? But the only lifestyle inflation I would do is probably go from economy to premium economy. But from premium economy to business class, I'm not sure if I'd get that much more marginal utility for the price point. At that point, I'd rather allocate the money towards like a nicer hotel, to more experiences, right? Unless I'm just that rich where it doesn't matter, then okay, fine, I'll get, business class or whatnot. And like I said, after a while too, like, all the food after a while tastes the same. Like, you go to the Michelin star restaurants, yeah, it's a nice experience. They might present things in a different way, but after you've been to enough Michelin star restaurants, the food's very similar style. It's good, but it comes out all the same way, right? It comes out number 2 all the same way. So, and like concerts too, right? Like you can maybe have as much enjoyment being like up close versus you do in the back. And it depends, right? Like if you like being in the front and something brings you value, then pay for it. But if you just like the vibe and seeing it live, and you don't necessarily care to be in the front, then you can sit in the back and still have the same joy and experience. So key is to like remove envy, remove jealousy, and it's hard because people are so comparison. And I fell in that trap too. Like I felt like I had to make more money. I had to have fancy titles like director of pharmacy, making over $200,000. Real estate investor with 90 units of real estate. Like it's all fancy titles, and like I just thought I was just trying to like impress people. But there's always someone that has more than you. Number one, and number two is like just make sure it fits your lifestyle. Right? I got 90 units at one point, but at a mobile home park, I was losing $10,000 a month, so I sold it, and it was stressing me out. And then now I'm at 54 units, but in the process of trying to sell my 20 unit via 1031 exchange, and at that point I'll drop down to probably 34 units, and if I 1031 exchange it, probably buy 3 units, mostly cash. So I'll be at 37, but it'll be a strong 37 units with some paid off properties. So it's tempting, especially with social media now, to fall into the comparison trap, but like just go at your own pace. And then, like I said, simple live. Like, because my wife and I simple live, we know we can retire earlier than most because we don't spend that much money compared to most, and we know how to allocate our money to what brings us the most value, which is we like thrifting, we like couponing, we like to travel to cheaper areas like Southeast Asia, generally cheaper than like Europe. And then when we go, we were really good at finding reasonable hotels in great locations so we can walk there. But don't get me wrong, if we're staying at a place and we want to stay at a resort, I'm going to get a nicer room. But if my intent of the trip is to just be out and about and never be in the hotel, why pay for an expensive room if I'm never there? I just need a place to sleep, shower, and store my luggage. So that's another thing that, we're very cognizant about. And, like, when you shop too, like if you spend all the research to coupon, or like you just wait for sales, like you can buy a lot of things pretty cheap, right? Like if you wait for the end of the year sale or end of season sale, you can buy a lot of clothes for like half, 1 or 25% of the price. Like JCPenney's, they have like a sale where, if it has like a pink tag, I think it's like $5 or $3. And sometimes you can find something good if you're willing to like go through the pile of clothes to buy it, right? And my wife and I enjoy doing stuff like that. It gives us that like shopping high without spending that much money. And worst case, if the clothes not that great, you only spent like whatever, $5 on it. It's less than a meal. And I kind of just thought about right now, like I always think like, oh, I'll be happier when I'm retired. But like I'm trying to remind myself that like I can still be happy now. Like even though I'm working, it doesn't mean I can still choose to be happy. Like maybe ideally I want to travel 6 times a year, but in my current job I travel 4 times a year, and who knows, maybe they'll let me, if I ask, travel 6 times a year. I'll just go without pay. That's fine with me, but for me it's more about being able to go. So, and maybe it'll work out if it's that flexible. Christine's job is not as flexible as mine, but if she's not working and then we can travel 6 times a year, I'll probably be happier, every 2 months. But once I travel every 2 months, I might get sick of traveling, right? So it's just like once you get it, you realize it's not as good as it was. It's just like Olympic athletes. They spent their whole life chasing Olympic gold, and maybe they got silver and face defeat, and now they finally got gold, and they feel good for like 2-3 days. But after that, they fall into a huge depression because they realize that, wow, I trained my whole life for this moment. I got it, and it was not what I expected it to be. It's really the journey, right? That's why they say, like, don't focus on the destination, focus on the journey. Enjoy the journey as you're going through. So that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm just trying to like enjoy the journey of like building wealth, obtaining financial freedom, and like not trying to burn myself out, not trying to be a slave to money, and then having my money work for me, and then like slowly lifestyle inflating. Like I'm like, geez, man, I watch so many ads on YouTube. Maybe I'll just get YouTube Premium now. It's like $10 a month, like whatever. I can afford that. And if I listen enough YouTube and not listen to ads, I'll be great. Or like Spotify, it's $10 as well. So for $20, you don't listen to any more ads. So it just makes your life more convenient. So that's really what it is. Like you can start paying for things that make your life a little more simplistic as you built your wealth. In the beginning, you have to be frugal and pinch every penny when, $10 makes or breaks you. But once you've built up wealth and you built up assets, then you can start letting go of some of the reins and basically paying for convenience. Like you don't listen to ads, well, then pay for premium. If you don't want to go grocery shopping, pay for Walmart Plus. They'll deliver it to you, or Amazon, right? These are like great return on investments. They even have like an Asian grocery delivery company now called which delivers to you. If I'm sick of driving, I'll just pay for self-driving. Right now it's not worth it, but if I'm wealthy enough and I'm done building wealth, then and I drive a lot, then I'll just pay for self-driving, and it'll save the headache of me having to drive. So it's just about paying for that convenience. As you build yourself up there. So, try to find things that you find that you enjoy in life. And like I said, like my wife and I, we just enjoy, like we get home, we'll cook dinner, we'll eat, we'll put the dishes away in the dishwasher. I know I'm Asian that use the dishwasher, very rare. And then we usually will go for a walk around the neighborhood, go to the gym, watch some TV, some K-drama, some anime, some movie, and then we'll like go to sleep. Right? On the weekends, usually we'll like have a slow morning and do an activity, and then one day we'll just relax, do some chores, do some errands. So it's all about that simple living, right? Like no one's like going that crazy, that ham and constantly that stimulated. And even if you were living that lifestyle where you're like constantly traveling, like after a while you kind of get bored of it too. Like, like if you travel to Japan, like the first 2 weeks it's exciting, but then once you've been there for like 3 to 4 weeks, like it kind of just feels like you're just living there, which is a different experience. So yeah, that's kind of the reminder to myself and to you, hopefully, that as you start building wealth and you get assets, enjoy simple living, enjoy the little things in life, and be present. And like, once you kind of hit your number, you can take the foot off the gas. And that's what I'm starting to do too, right? Where, obviously there's a good deal presented in my face and it makes sense for me at that moment, then I'll buy it. But if it doesn't make sense to me at the moment, I can flip it or wholesale it or just not buy it and be okay with what I have, because I don't need more, right? I'm not trying to chase units anymore. I'm not trying to impress people anymore. I just want to obtain my goal, financial freedom, and have it be peaceful and less stressful, or at least stressful as possible. It's real estate. Real estate's stressful. As little stress as possible. And yeah, just go from there. So anyways, hopefully you found value. More of a philosophical rant. If you stick to the end, thank you. Let me know what questions you have. If you want to join my school community on a free trial, you want to send me an email, you want a steadily landlord insurance quote. If you want to join coaching or mentorship, click on my link tree. It has all those links. Otherwise, hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.